Yeah, I'm back, motherfuckers.
Yeah, this is it right here. This defines me.
All right, now do you guys remember about a month ago when I spoke about that bitch-made boy, Dr. Michael J. Ryan, which is the current executive director of the World Health Organization and who's also profiting from Bill Gates, which made a statement that it's time for authorities to come to your home.
Now we need to go and look in families to find those people who may be sick and remove them and isolate them in a safe and dignified manner.
Now, I know you sheeple, especially here in America, think that this could never happen. And I guarantee you, these are the same people that just a couple months ago thought that it would be impossible for the entire country and majority of the world to be put on lockdown because people won't put up with it or because we got rights, right? Now, for those of you who say you cannot wait for the government to lift those lockdowns, as many states say that they are preparing to do, remember, we are being told that things will not go back to normal until there's a vaccine and the entire planet has been vaccinated. Words coming from the bitch boy, Bill Gates.
Normalcy only returns when we've largely vaccinated the entire global population.
Now, we also have been told how we must embrace this new normal. And a part of this new normal is contact tracing. Now, I know many of you are wondering, what the hell is contact tracing? According to California governor, contact tracing combined with expanded testing is a pillar of the state's modified stay-at-home order. The goal is to track and trace everyone in the state who may have been exposed, then quickly isolate them and test them. The state cannot open up without contact tracing, and only then it would be a modified stay-at-home order, not actually removing the lockdown in its entirety. Hence the new normal. Now, I know you people are wondering, how can they accomplish this? Right now in California, by their own words, they are building an army of 20,000 people. This emerged from reports of 10,000 people just a week ago would be trained as disease detectives, serving 6 to 12-month gigs that demand skills ranging from data entry to psychology to project management and crisis intervention, saying that the state is providing a, quote, customer service. Now, some will call it a customer service and some will call it the new secret police. Now, my people, California will serve as the test pilot for this new program that would eventually expand nationwide and serve as the template for the entire country. Have a listen for yourself coming from officials in Ventura County in California.
Are beginning a program today, and it's a pilot program which will certainly grow into something larger and larger, and that is a community contact tracing program. We've done contact tracing all along. That a contact is a person who's been exposed to someone that we document to have the COVID infection. When we find someone who has a COVID infection, those people are immediately isolated. But we also work with them to figure out who their contacts were. Luckily, because you have been doing such a great job of cooperating and staying indoors, and staying isolated. It used to be there were 10 contacts, at least, for every patient that we would find. Now, it looks like there are probably only 2 or 3 or 4 contacts, not surprisingly, because most people have been staying away from others. And that's good news. But the purpose of this program is to bring on people. We're going to start with 10 people. We may bring on up to 50 or even more as the program grows and as we see the needs for it. As we do more testing, we will find more and more people who have COVID-19. And again, we'll isolate every one of them, and we will find every one of their contacts, and we will make sure that they stay quarantined, and we'll check in with them every day. It's not just our county that's bringing more people on. There are going to be thousands of people hired who will be these contact investigators throughout the state. And this is occurring in many, many other states as well, perhaps all of the states in our country. We will be giving intensive training to these people, training not only for identifying and finding contacts, but also in terms of how to be sensitive about doing it. We also realize that as we find more contacts, some of the people we find are going to have trouble being isolated. For instance, if they live in a home where there's only one bathroom and there are 3 or 4 other people living there, and those people don't have COVID infection, we're not going to be able to keep the person in that home. Every person who we're isolating, for instance, needs to have their own bathroom. And so we'll be moving people like this into other kinds of housing that we have available.
Now, is this just me, or doesn't this sound exactly like what World Health Organization Executive Director Michael J. Ryan sound the same over a month ago? Did you not just hear them say with their own mouth they intend to remove people from their homes, possibly against their own will? Welcome to the new normal, my people. Welcome to COVID-19. Right now, there are many job listings for contact tracers online. Private security firms are urgently hiring, and they want military experience, and this comes with full benefits. And you know this sounds very appealing to millions of people who are out of work, struggling, trying to put food on their family table. Join the state, join COVID-19 Army, because it pays well, $25 an hour. This is why you Americans have quotes like, "Give me liberty or give me death." And the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with blood of patriots and tyrants. And understand this, I don't identify as an American. I identify myself as a child of God, a Hebrew Israelite, the real Jews. Now, I'm not advocating violence, but my question for everyone is this: what is your stance through all of this? When they force vaccinations, or how about when they start disappearing descendants under the contact tracing program that's funded by people and organizations like the Clinton Foundation? Now, it is not my job to tell you people what to think and what to do. That is your decision. All I'm trying to do is help provide and present information for you guys to put the pieces of the puzzle together. That way, you can have an alternative perspective of what is taking place. Because right now, the way how I see it, this is a orchestrated, pre-planned operation that is targeting you and me. Tyranny is knocking on everyone's door. The only question is how you, the people, will respond. Now, I don't know how much more of this people are going to be able to take. States like Oregon are extending. Oregon State Governor Kate Brown has extended the lockdown, my people, another 2 months. 50 more days of this pure bullshit. She's not going to lift the extended lockdown until July the fucking 6th. And on top of that, Oregon death toll was less than 200 people. I think it was like 121 people, and they are inflating those numbers. So my thing is this right here. Why in the fuck would you shut down the state more for 60 more days? I think like 50 more days, and it's millions of people that live in Oregon. Why you open up the state at July the 6th? You think I'm lying? Check this out. Just to show y'all I'm not bullshitting. Look at this. 121 deaths confirmed in the state of Oregon. Wow. Now, let's move to Dallas, Texas. Authorities in the state of Texas have arrested a small business owner and thrown her in jail for 7 days for refusing to close her salon despite a court order which was signed by a judge. And if that's not enough, they also fined the business owner, Shelley Luther, $7,000 on top of the jail time.
Judge Eric Moya did say he would consider not giving her jail time if she agreed to close the salon and to admit wrongdoing. Listen to a portion of his request and her response to it.
That your actions were selfish, putting your own interest ahead of those of the community in which you live. That they disrespected the executive orders of the state, the orders of the county, and this city.
I have to disagree with you, sir, when you say that I'm selfish. because feeding my kids is not selfish. I have hairstylists that are going hungry because they'd rather feed their kids. So, sir, if you think the law is more important than kids getting fed, then please go ahead with your decision, but I am not going to shut the salon.
Now these motherfuckers are saying over 70% of tested inmates in federal prison have COVID-19. Nigga, what? Now, my people, this basically tells me the lockdowns are complete bullshit, straight malarkey. They claim the virus is spreading in prisons. It don't get no more lockdown than a fucking federal prison. How in the fuck are prisoners that are locked down getting the so-called COVID-19? Use your brain, people. They claim the virus is spreading in prisons while we are sitting at home in our own personal prisons on fucking lockdown, because the lockdowns are so-called needed to flatten the curves, so they say. Nigga, yeah, right. Now understand this, my people. Many doctors who are not on the payroll of Bill Gates' bitch ass have came out and stated that the numbers that they are saying are inflated. Hell, even Dr. Deborah Birx, who sits a part of a board that receives billions of dollars from Bill Gates' bitch ass, has got right up there on the White House podium. She's a part of the emergency task force, has stated that the numbers that they are saying are inflated. Basically, if you die in a fucking car wreck and if they test you and they say that you have COVID-19 by them testing you, they're going to say your death was due to coronavirus and not a fucking car wreck. That's just an analogy that I'm using. And this basically lets me know that the test that they're using is complete bullshit. And now they're talking about a second wave may emerge. I want you people to understand this. This shit is nothing but game. Game such as if they come out with a second wave to shut down cities such as my city, because they've opened up a lot of things, let people go to restaurants here in Memphis, Tennessee. But this is giving them a reason to shut it back down and also to enforce people to get vaccines. And when you get vaccines, who's to say if you was to get sick? They're going to say the reason why you got sick is due to the fact that you got the second wave. Wake up, my people. Now understand the U.S. government is beginning to build an army of contact tracers, which will be coming to people's homes in-house. Resolution 6666. Yes, people, that's right. HR 6666. Sounds like the fucking mark of the beast. Now understand this, my people. The new contact tracers were first rolled out in Singapore, as we now see the so-called next phase of COVID-19 being rolled out yet again, first in Singapore, as robots are being used to enforce social distancing. The robot dog named Spot is a product of Boston Dynamics, an American engineering robotics company funded by the Pentagon Research Division, called DARPA, the same DARPA that is currently working with nanotechs for Bill Gates' COVID-19 vaccine.
Let's keep Singapore healthy. For your own safety and for those around you, please stand at least 1 meter apart. Thank you.
Are we looking at contact tracers of the future? These robot dogs can be retrofiles with different applications, for example, to open doors. And since this is a military-funded program, you can be sure that there will be military applications available that we have not seen yet. This is just one of Boston Dynamic robots. They have humanoid robots as well. I believe they are rolling out these dog robots first because it is less threatening, and they are basically preparing us for the idea of seeing robots rolled out on our streets. Think these robots can't be rolled out in your city? Well, in Massachusetts, police have already tested Spot as a part of their bomb squad. And quote, robots have now been rolled out coast to coast in 16 states across the country. This is also a good time to point out the military has banned coronavirus survivors entering the military, which I think may foster for robots to take over majority of the armed forces. Even have a crazy looking humanoid robot that look like he is ready for a viral pandemic, complete with a gas mask. Now I have to ask, are we looking at the new contact tracers of the future? Now this next clip is a spoof of a Boston Dynamics video, but I really don't think that we are that far off. Hell, for all we know, the robots can already be operating at this level. One advantages of having robots is that they are less likely to refuse unconstitutional orders that humans are willing to disobey. Now, this sick, crazy motherfucker Henry Kissinger once said, control oil and you control the nations. Control the food and you control the people.
The cells are being cultured. We have the sterile hoods and the incubators.
The cells the professor is referring to are from cows. She and her team are mimicking the cell's growing environment inside bioreactors. The goal? Generate tissues that ultimately form a steak. Lab-generated steak, meatless or clean meat. This, say industry scientists, will be the next agricultural revolution. Meatless meat is a sustainable and healthy alternative to traditional meat because it cuts greenhouse emissions and land use associated with conventional cattle cultivation.
This is lab-grown, test-tube fake meat, my people. Not only Bill Gates is funding the global ID and global vaccination for the UN, he's also benefiting from the coming of food shortages, which, in my opinion, my people, are no accident. Bill Gates and his lab-made meats and his major push for GMOs is trying to take over the entire world's food supply, which were pre-existing plans hidden within the UN's 2030 agenda and Agenda 21, which both meant resistance, but now these plans are being fast-tracked. Another thing about this bitch-made nigga Bill Gates, he's also funding real-time global surveillance network of satellites. Man, now, I want you people to understand, people like Bill Gates and Henry Kissinger are not government-elected officials. However, they are the ones who are calling all of the fucking shots. In my honest opinion to you people, if they ever was to come to your home and tell you to leave and put you in their self-quarantine, if they are ever telling you what to eat, telling you that you have to get mass vaccinated, resist, because I know I'm not. I know they can't make me do a motherfucking thing. And if that means that I have to go to jail, and if that means that my life would be taken, I would die for something instead of living for nothing. My people, for the people who are wondering who I am, my Instagram is Mr.6_foot_5. And I need everybody to subscribe to my YouTube channel, LaPrada Smith. Like I always say, all praises to the Most High, my people. Shalawah, shalawah, shalom.